Hello everyone, Meg Loves Games here, and welcome to speed build number 42. It's a very special speed build to me. It is, well, if you've seen the title you might recognise the house at least. Or the name, maybe not the house, just the name. This is a little thing that I am calling Serenity 2.0. Yep. This is the very first house that I uploaded to YouTube. It wasn't the first I built, obviously. I mean, I've been building houses since Sims 1 days. So, yeah, but this was the very first house that I ever uploaded to YouTube, my first video on YouTube. And I thought, originally I wanted to do this for the 1 year on YouTube, but at the time I wasn't able to do it, so I thought I'll leave it until next year. So here I am, 1 year later, trying to do it. I actually love this house. I think it turns out very nicely. So I'm very excited to show it off to you. In case you hadn't guessed, we are actually in a lunar island. This is one of the lovely little beach lots. There's so many of them in this world, but this is one of them, and I feel like this house actually works quite nicely there. You kind of got this walk out to the beach at the back, which is lovely, and so on and so forth, and yeah. Originally I was going to change the structure of the house. I mean, I've tried to do this several times. This is my third attempt, I believe, at Serenity 2.0. First one I did last year and never got the chance to finish, hence why I never uploaded it last year. Second try, I did it, lost the file, and then the third time is this one, and I'm sitting here like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to make this any bigger. I want to keep it Serenity. I want to leave it the way it is and just change it up and update it to where I am now in terms of building. So yeah, and I mean, I think the most notable change about the way I build now is the fact that my interior design has got kind of better, especially very recently. I mean, after the rise of deligracy and yeah, people that are good at interior designing, basically. And so yeah, the interior design really becomes important in this one. I really like the way I did it. I was struggling with the stairs there because they were sitting in the middle of the terrain, and by the middle I mean I couldn't see them because they were buried. So yeah, the original colour scheme for this house was like a reddish brick, not a reddish brick, like a dark maroony red kind of rock pattern, and then just stark white, and it looked very striking, but I like this better. I feel like this also kind of suits a lunar island as well, because a lot of the builds I've built in a lunar island involve wood paneling and like bright pastel colours. So I've gone with this kind of mint colour and I really love it. And I kind of added the brick as well, because too much of the paneling would have been too much and too much of the mint would be too much, so that brick kind of offsets it. Makes it look a little bit better. So yeah, and now I'm kind of going in with windows. I use a lot from the Bauhaus set, as usual. I didn't have the Bauhaus set when I did the first one, obviously, because it was not until speed build 28, I believe, that I got that set. So, yeah. And I just kind of went kind of crazy with windows. I wanted to make sure we got a lot of windows at the back for the nice view of the sea, because it was a lovely view of the sea, and yeah, all the funds. Just trying to find the perfect window to go up there was interesting enough. I actually do quite a cool thing with the windows here, actually. I start off with that Showtime one, and then notice the bay window that came with Roaring Heights, and use it at the bottom, and then I'm like, hey, what if I do this? Right here, invert it at the top, and I thought that looked really cute. That was, I don't think I've seen anyone do that. I I hope I haven't seen anyone do that and I've just forgotten about it, so I can't credit you. But yeah, I really liked the way that worked. And then I got this kind of triangular window, which I could never really find a use for. I wish I could find more uses for it, but I don't roof enough. I don't do enough proper roofs, and I really should, and I'm going to work on it because my roofing skills are terrible. But yeah, I wanted to use it here, so I did. And then using my favourite stairs, as always. My favourite stairs are those gorgeous rainbow tiled ones from the wonderful Island Paradise. You know, I use them in every build, whether it's the tiled ones or the not tiled ones. They are my favourites. They make for really nice just plain ones. They also make nice little dashes of colour, and it just really suits the Lunar Island in general, which is why I've used them so much recently in terms of those sort of builds. There was a nice little jump cut. I kind of came back to this. It was the same day, but it was like a little bit later on in the day. And here we kind of delve into the furnishing of it all. I kind of wanted to tie in the green from the outside a little bit on the inside, so I went with that kind of mint marble kind of texture. It works a lot better when we actually get the wallpaper and stuff into the rest of the room, which kind of makes it seem a little bit better, because we end up with like this dark green kind of pattern, and I feel like the kind of mintish marble kind of looks good with it, I think. You guys probably don't agree. You're free to do your own opinion, as usual. But yeah, I tried to edit out as many cuts as I could, but I may have left in one or two, because some of them were like proper long, and then some of them were like really short, so I was like, do I count that as a cut and get it out? I can't tell. So yeah, this kitchen actually gets very cluttered very quickly, as you will see. I kind of stuck a bunch of shelves in. I used the chilies, which I'd never found until I saw that Deli and James build for Zavi's house, and I saw that the Fastlane stuff came with this string of chilies, and I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So yeah, and as you can see here, we're kind of adding in shelves. I wanted to just put a lot of kitchen clutter in, because everybody has kitchen clutter, even those with tiny kitchens, so shelves were the way to go, really. Kind of shortened, got a shorter coffee maker in. Who doesn't love a coffee maker? And then lots of kitchen-y things. Stuck a towel rail just there. Probably too bar for me. I showed my mum the kitchen, and she was like, that rail looks too bar for me. Gotta love my mum though. Yeah, she's great. She's the reason I started building in the first place. That's all she would ever do on Sims. She doesn't so much anymore. She kind of actually plays the game, but that's all she ever used to do on Sims. She kind of got me into gaming. It was her PlayStation that I started playing Theme Park World on, and she used to play Anno on our little Windows 95 computer that was in their bedroom. Yeah, memories. So if you're gonna thank anyone for my channel being here, you should thank my mum. Not only for giving birth to me and making me an actual thing, but also for gaming. So yeah. I don't know why we went on a tangent about my mum, but my mum's great. So yeah, now I'm adding in clutter. The little supernatural basin that I don't like moves. I don't really like it, but I was like, clutter. It changes. I finished this off after my birthday. So I started it like a week before my birthday, but finished it the day after my birthday, I believe. And so I had a few little gifts from the store from a bunch of you, which was amazing, and I can't thank you enough for that. I did not even expect a gift at all, and for some of you to go out of your way and pay money to get me a gift is the loveliest thing, so thank you very much. But yeah, they kind of tied off the house perfectly. There were certain objects that I'd wanted in my game for a while that I didn't have, and they just rounded everything off, made the build the best I could have made it internally. like externally I could have changed it, but I wanted to keep it true to what it was, like I said. This dining room is interesting. I had the idea of using some really fancy chairs. I wanted the green, because the green from Delhi's Let's Renovate an Apartment was really hated, but I loved it so much. Green is my favourite colour, as you might be able to tell from a lot of my builds. Green is just it's beautiful, it's my favourite colour. And I was just I wanted to take the idea of having like repurposed chairs. That's why I kind of gave them an older kind of wood texture and stuff. And the idea was maybe they found a pair of them at a junkyard and then got the other 4 with the table or something and kind of switched it around so that they were in amongst them. But yeah, and then I kind of stuck some paintings over the windows. I wouldn't normally do this, but I feel like it worked with those little striped windows and the kind of square pictures. I want to call them modular pictures for some reason, because they come in parts. So yeah, but I think that bit really worked out. Now this little corridor sort of area to the kitchen, I started off with having those little Roaring Heights prints there, but we'll soon see after I change these lovely little chairs a little bit more that we kind of get rid of them and go with something a little more useful, I guess, practical, sort of, in a way. I kind of look around for something just to stick on the wall to begin with, and I spot these lights, these wonderful little Secret Bohemia lights. Are they Secret Bohemia? I remember they had a lot of the University Life stuff came with the name Secret Bohemia, and I don't know why. Yeah, we kind of hang those up. I probably should have changed them when we came to, when I got some of the sets that I did. Change them to perhaps the Bohemian Garden hanging lights, because they're longer and it would have worked, but I don't know, I kind of like them. And I like the way they drape, so that's cool. And then, as you saw there was a bar, sort of, not bar, like a liquor stand kind of thing for all your wines when you're entertaining and all your other alcohol goodness, you know. Yeah, so the living room kind of was a pain in the arse. I kind of started with this, which wasn't looking its best. I wanted to obviously tie in some of the green from the outside, and I don't know, I just couldn't get the colours right, so this was where I went to my favourite place, design-seeds.com, found myself a beautiful, beautiful colour scheme, and kind of ran with it. We haven't got to the point where I do that yet. We're still kind of toying around with colours personally. I'm okay with colours in general. I kind of experiment with colours a bit and such, but there are times when I just need that little bit of inspiration, and Design Seeds is the place to go for that. I use it for this room and the bedroom. It's only a 1-bedroom place because it's really rather small and I wanted a decent sized bedroom. So yes, I love these stools and I never get a chance to use them, and I feel like the game needs more stools, so I was like, yes, I need to use these. Now they're kind of bar stools, which is a shame. I'd like some dining chair height ones because that's where I want to use them the most. There was this beautiful little set that was in The Sims 2 that I downloaded back in the day. It was from around The Sims 2 .com, and it had this little stool in it. It was the set with the sofa bed and the mini fridge and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was like a student living kind of set, and it had this stool in it that reminded me of my art rooms back at middle school, and I loved those stools. They were like the wooden squarish kind of ones with the little handle in them, not handle, but like the hole that you could grab them in the center kind of thing. They were awesome. I'll try and find a picture of it or something. I don't know. But yeah, this kid, I've used the colour scheme now. I kind of got lost in that story. Sorry. And I threw in these diesel little cases as coffee table kind of objects. You know the ones. You can see them, obviously. And yeah, I kind of love them. And I'd only really just spotted them recently. And so I was like, I'm going to use these. And I mean, I changed their words. I changed the couches. They look too suburban, if that makes any sense. I was kind of going slightly edgy with this house. I don't know, I felt like an edgy kind of couple would live in it. I guess. That's kind of what it ends up looking like anyway. So I just kind of changed it. I have the bench. The bench from the Zavi build, but I like it. I like the way it looks. I think it just kind of works. It just looks kind of repurposed, and some of the stuff in here does. And I like that about it. And I was just, at this point, I'm just trying to work out what to put on those walls. And I can't. We shoved a little fruit bowl in on that table. The bookcases at the back are from Roaring Heights, for those of you that don't know. I feel like a lot of people use them in their builds now, though, so you probably already know that one. That was a car driving past if you heard that. And I create like a little study nook over this side of the room, not with more Roaring Heights bookcases, don't you worry. In fact, I don't actually put a bookcase on this side, because I feel like you don't need one, because there's two huge ones behind the television. So yeah, I just kind of shift the stools around to fit a nice little desk in there perfectly. I actually did something really cool with a plant. You know, that little plant from, I think it's from Showtime. I missed the little thumbnail. So, my bad, but I shoved that in there because it looked like it was just kind of sat on there like a shelf, which was cool. It's what I liked. Then we had a little aquarium in, because I haven't used an aquarium in a while. Or at least that aquarium. I mean, I used the huge one in the Ellen O'Reilly build. So yeah. Then just more layering of rugs, because white wood needs to kind of be covered. In a way, no, I say that, but in this build, it looks a bit silly that I've got big airy rugs on one side of the room and then kind of no rugs at all on the other. So I kind of stuck a few smaller ones in and kind of layered them up to kind of fix that, I guess, would be the word. Yeah, just trying to fit in some paintings above there, because that little space above there just looked a bit silly. So I stuck my favourite little cameo silhouette type things in there. They are called cameos, I'm sure of it. I don't know whether that's just the jewellery that's made out of them, or whether it's just them in general. Maybe I'll just start calling them silhouette pictures. I don't know. I just feel like it made more sense to call them cameos, because it's one word less, several syllables less, you know. But anyways, now I'm just hunting for another lovely colour scheme for the bedroom. We kind of I changed my mind on the whole carpet for there. I was originally going to go with like a blue, pale blue kind of carpet thing, but I changed my mind and went white wood, more rugs, go. I don't know, I just thought like that worked for me. And obviously doing some wallpapers, we had to incorporate the brick into everything we do. I mean, it looks really cool. It actually looks really nice with the wallpaper that we do end up using, as you can see. The colour scheme up here is kind of green as well. I kind of wanted to use the same sort of green in all of them. Just kind of tie all this green tone into the house. But this one's got a lot more blues in it. And it's got this tiny little bit of like magenta that flashes in. And I really actually love this bedroom. It ends up being amazing, in my opinion. I kind of offset the TV a tiny bit because of that wonderful little bay window that's kind of inverted. I like the way it's inverted, I really do. It makes an interesting piece of the room. So yeah. And the diagonal walls meant that those mirrors were kind of perfect to fit around those windows, which was also perfect. I just stuck a little end table in, one of the longer ones, to stick an alarm clock on, and some like makeup, as you do. This kind of edgy couple would probably want makeup. I mean, the female would, at least. I'm betting. I kind of have a couple in my head for this house, but it's not like really specific, like I'm sure Deli goes into with some of her builds. Well, I know she does. I mean, the sorority has the Sims. So yeah, but I had a couple in mind for this. I did that whole half wall thing that they did in Savvy's, but I kind of took it a different way in terms of like what I did behind it. Like, they had a big counter. I kind of do this kind of dressing area, which works out really nicely. Just going back and adding a few more lights to places, because I did not want to go buy debugging lights again because they're silly. I also didn't use very many ceiling lights as well, which makes a change. Normally I just stick around that one light from the base game that I always use, and then call it done. But I didn't this time. I did a lot of floor lamps, messed around with some colours, as you can see here. This hallway was kind of an interesting space to furnish. I wanted to get like some kind of edgy kind of statue going in, just as a bit of artwork, but I ended up with like a chess piece, like a knight, because yes, I know what chess pieces are because I played chess. President of a board game society must know chess. Come on. And then stuck the little diesel chair in, made for a nice little nook. I'm not sure anybody would use that. I mean, I'm not a fan of sitting in a hallway. I don't know about you. Unless, like, we used to have a computer in our upstairs landing, which had The Sims 2 on, so that was why I used to be up there. But if given a choice of a regular seat and a seat in a hallway, then I'm probably going to choose the regular seat. But anyways, now I'm just kind of... because that was a diagonal wall, I was like, I'm not going to be able to fit a full counter along here. So I did something different. I also used a different counter than what I've used before. This is one that came with Showtime, and I've never used it before, and I kind of shied away from it because it had that really garish 70s print on it. And I couldn't necessarily see what I could do with it because of that off-putting pattern. But when I got like some planks on it, it looked pretty cool. And then I stuck this little shelf in between as like a nice little pop of colour, and stuck a shoe rack underneath. So we start getting this dressing area kind of set up. We kind of stick another chest of drawers in over here, as well as that lovely wardrobe from Supernatural, which I adore. It is my favourite wardrobe. It's an interesting one. It's like an interesting shape. But I love it, nonetheless. And I kind of didn't want to obscure our views, so I kind of left it away from the window as much as I could. It kind of obstructs a pathway, kind of, but the other side is completely freed up. So you can kind of walk around it in a way. So yes. Trying to fit some rugs in. I didn't want to leave that wood kind of plain as it is right now. So I don't know what I'm doing. Did I really miss this break? Oh man, this is a long one as well. I thought I was good with all this. Apparently not. But yeah, we kind of stick in this rug because it kind of, even though it's a 3x2, it just feels a little bit longer than the others because it's like slightly thinner. I mean, it fits in the 3x2, but it's kind of the shorter sides are shorter in a way. That was what I was trying to say. And then I kind of tied in that kind of suede that I've got on that rug. It's not really a suede, it's more of like a leather, I guess. Maybe suede, I don't know. But I liked it. Tied that in over here with a little bit of the teal from the colour scheme. And threw on a runner by the shoes. Because shoes. Just kind of decoed it up with a bunch of books, clothes, I wanted to stick an award in. I don't know why. I just felt like these would be the kind of people that would have at least some kind of award, and it fitted quite beautifully over there, so I did it. Just books, more books, just sticking a painting on the wall, doing a quick little job of the bathroom. Bathrooms are quite simple, and there wasn't really enough space to make it something really special, but it doesn't look bad nonetheless. It looks like a really nice bathroom. I wanted to stick that toilet roll holder in, but it was too far away from the toilet because of the diagonal walls, so it really frustrated me. And yeah, and this was me coming back yesterday, day after my birthday, after I got the Bohemian Garden set and the Brunch at the Old Mill set, and I kind of was like, I need that hanging chair in that space, because I felt like that couch that was there just didn't feel right. And I start off with like black as the outer colour for that, and then I was like, it feels like it doesn't suit it enough. I mean, it matches the windows, but it doesn't quite match the room. I feel like windows don't have to match the room per se, so I kind of went with the brown of the rug, and I feel like that worked the best. And then I was kind of choosing colours for it, and I wanted to try, and I love the colours from the room, because there is quite a few just kind of flashing in and out, so to speak, but I ended up just using the pattern the way it was, the zigzag kind of bohemian kind of pattern that I had, and then just doing a few little final design pieces, like that rose that also came with the Bohemian Garden set looked perfect up there. Just stuck in a few strings of lights. The living room got the Bohemian Garden ones kind of crisscrossing across the room, as you can see, and then the dining room got the beautiful mason jar lights, which I adore so much. And then I replaced that basin with the mason jars, which is lovely. I didn't want to do so much outside. I mean, there wasn't really much room at the back because it kind of just goes straight out onto a beach. Kind of went with a pebble driveway. Use this little fencing that came with the Brunch at the Old Mill set, because it kind of has a similar colour to what we had going on in the brick work, and that little peak there that I had in the first one that was covered in flowers, I wanted to cover with flowers once more, but I tamed it a little bit. It didn't need to be too big. And then palm trees, because this is an island. Beautiful, beautiful palm trees. Lovely, lovely palm trees, and I've been talking for 30 minutes straight, which is pretty good for me in terms of speed builds. I normally have a moment of silence here and there, but I've been really excited to talk to you about this one because I feel like I did a really okay job of it. I feel like it's very special to me, and here are the pictures. That was a really weird way to tie in the pictures, but nonetheless, yeah, here they are. I love this shot of the hallway. It's pretty cool. I've pretty much taken a fair few pictures of every single room, so that's all good. I like the way the stairs look actually at the back of this room as well. I think it just all ends up looking really nice. So yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with this build. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed building it. Hope you've enjoyed all 42 of these so far. Hope you've enjoyed the last 2 years. I hope this wasn't some kind of anticlimax in terms of specialness, because I've kind of been raving on about it for a while. And yeah, is it better than the first one? Let me know. I hope so. 2 years, I'd like to think that there's some kind of an improvement in my builds. But yeah, thank you all for sticking around for as long as you have. I love you all so much. You've made my life so much better and stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.